Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and a very good evening. Welcome to Online PPD 2.0. My name is Teacher Malina from SMK Palohinai and I am the moderator for this evening. Ladies and gentlemen, the Online PPD 2.0 is actually a continuity of the webinar series by PPD Pekan Pahang for teachers and students. It also actually from Sektor Pembelajaran PPD Pekan. The objective of today's webinar is to provide useful tips and learning strategies for SPM 2021 candidates in writing, which is in paper 2. So dear students, let's grab this great opportunity to gain as much as possible to knowledge in writing within this 1 hour webinar. First of all, let's begin our program today with doa recitation.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Wa qala rabbukum ud'uni astajib lakum. A'udzu billahi as-sami'il 'alim minasyaitonir rajim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahilladzi bi ni'matihi tatimmus shalihat. Wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulinal amin wa ala alihi wa ashabihi ajma'in. Ya Allah, kami menandatangan memohon kepadamu, ampunilah dosa-dosa kami, dosa kedua ibu bapa kami, kaum keluarga kami, guru-guru kami, juga muslimin dan muslimat, mukminin dan mukminat sama ada yang masih hidup maupun yang telah meninggal dunia. Ya Allah, Ya Rahman, limpahkanlah kepada kami ilmu pengetahuan. Hiasilah diri kami dengan kesopanan. Muliakanlah kami dengan ketakwaan. Segarkan tubuh kami dengan kesihatan dan berkatilah diri kami dengan keredaan. Ya Allah, Ya Ghaffar, sempena pembelajaran atas talian peringkat daerah pekan tahun 2020 ini, kurniakanlah kepada anak-anak didik kami kesedaran dan keinsafan setelah mereka hanyut di buai khayalan. Semaikan ke dalam jiwa mereka benih keimanan dan kebaikan setelah mereka tenggelam dengan kenikmatan dunia. Alirkan di mata mereka air mata penyesalan lantaran mereka sering ketawa tanpa sempadan, dan tambahkan kepada mereka ilmu pengetahuan lantaran titik-titik kejahilan semakin kelihatan. Semoga mereka kembali menjadi hamba-hambamu yang beriman dan bertakwa, mengingatimu setiap masa dan ketika, ibadah ditunai dengan keikhlasan di jiwa. Kepada ibu bapa dan guru rasa hormat dan cinta. Sesama makhluk tanamkan bahagia, hidup di dunia sentiasa sentosa dan akhirat nanti menjanjikan bahagia selama-lama. Ya Allah, Ya Jabbar, harapan ibu bapa terlalu tinggi untuk melihat anak-anaknya berjaya. Air mata dan keringat tidak terkira dalam membesarkan anak-anak tercinta. Pengorbanan guru-guru tidak terhitung dalam mendidik dan menjadikan mereka insan yang beruntung. Doa masyarakat sering dipanjat agar maruah bangsa semakin terbela dan dipertingkat. Perkenankanlah permintaan kami ini, Ya Allah. Moga kecewa berganti ceria, cita-cita menjadi nyata, susah payah bertukar mudah, dan harapan menjadi satu kenyataan. Allahumma ja'al jam'ana hadha jam'an marhuma wa tafarruqana min ba'dihi tafarruqan ma'suma wa la taj'alillahumma fina wa la man yatba'una saqiyya wa la matruda wa la mahruma. Rabbana atina fid dunya hasanah wa fil akhirati hasanah wa qina adzaban nar. Wa sallallahu ala sayyidina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa sallam. Walhamdulillahi rabbil alamin.
Amin amin ya rabbal alamin. Okay, dear students, I would like to remind all of you that you are required to use appropriate language and the questions can be posted in the chat later on. Okay, meanwhile, the resources you can take from this address. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, let's begin our online PPT 2.0 English for tonight with the introduction of our speaker this evening. Mr. Sharul Nizam Abu Bakar is from SMK Indra Shah Bandar Pekan. He is the head of panel of English language. His academic background is from IPG Temenggung Ibrahim with Bachelor in Education TESOL. He has 7 years teaching experience and some of his achievements and awards were APC in 2018, JUSPM in 2021, Head of English SPM Task Force 2021 and PT Co-Academic English of Secondary Schools. Okay, let's take a look for today's agenda. We will go through the introduction to the letters writing SPM CEFR format, the answering technique in email, answering technique in essay, answering technique in article, review, and story, and finally, Q&A session in about 5 minutes. Okay, I think without further ado, I would like to welcome our speaker for today, Mr. Sharul. Okay, Sharul.
Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Alright. Okay, thank you very much, moderator for tonight's session, which is Teacher Malina, for introducing me very nicely and everything. Okay, I would like to take this opportunity to express my gratitude to PPD Pekan, especially Miss Anne for trusting me, for letting me to have this online session, and also a very special thanks to those who have shared knowledge with me. You know who you are. I hope you are watching this session. Thank you very much. Because of you guys, I managed to get some knowledge, and then I could share it with the rest of the students and the teachers as well who are watching now. Hi everyone at home. Hopefully everyone is very comfortable at your house while watching me sharing some things about the latest writing as for SPM paper 2. Okay, so as written on the first slide here, I'll be focusing on writing, and then I will touch a little bit about what things that you need to consider before you tackle writing paper for SPM. Okay, so maybe you can students, if because I'm from Smerkis, if some of my students are watching me, say something or type something in the comment box, chat box, to give me some motivation, to give me feel motivated to continue the session. Other school as well, if you are from PJ ke, from SMK Lepa, from SMK Palu Hinai, maybe some of you are from Kuantan, or I don't know, it could be anywhere from Malaysia. So thank you very much for joining me tonight. All right, so let's go to this one. Okay, so let's start with comparing the old format and the latest one, because there are few changes that took place in the paper. All right, so this is the comparison. I put it side by side, the old format and also the new format. Okay, we go through the old format first. So we have two questions. The time given for this old format is 1 hour and 45 minutes. So we have section A and also section B. For section A, the marks given is 35 marks, and then the students are required to write more than 120 words. Maybe some teachers might ask the student to write about 150 words. And then for section B, 50 marks given for section B, and then the students are required to write more than 350 words. And then this the last column here is to compare how we mark the old format and the new one. So for section A, we have format, we have content, and also we have language. These are the elements that taken into consideration when the examiner are marking the paper. And for section B, they use impressionistic marking. Okay, so that's how basically the old format. So let's move on to the new format. So you can see the change from 2 questions. Now it becomes 3 questions. All right, and then the luckiest thing is they cut down the time from 1 hour 45 minutes to 1 hour and 30 minutes only for three essays. All right. So question one, the mark is 20 marks, and then the word limit is 80 words. Question two, 20 marks as well. The word limit is between 125 to 150 words. Question three, another 20 marks. And then the students are expected to write about in between the range of 200 to 250 words. Okay, so we can see here the weightage of every question is the same, 20, 20, 20. But the difference comes in the word limit. Okay, and this is how the new format will, the essay will be marked. We have content, we have communicative achievement, we have organization, and also the language. Okay, so we have four elements will be taken into consideration when the examiner marking your essay later on. Okay, what is content? I'm going to be very brief here. So, what should you consider in content? What are the examiner are looking for in content? Actually, content, it must be relevant according to the requirement in the question. Meaning to say here, you need to read the question carefully and look for the gist or the main point in the question given. So take your time to read the question few times, and then find the gist of the question. Maybe you can also locate the main verb in the question. For example, maybe you can find the word like suggest, advise, give opinion. So those are very strong words, and so that is the the gist of the question. Okay, for any irrelevant content, if you write irrelevant content, what will happen is they will pull your marks down. Okay, so basically that's what the examiner wants to see in your content, which is very relevant to the question. Okay, then we have communicative achievement. So what is communicative achievement? All right. So for communicative achievement, what we want to see is the correct text type, okay, and then also the correct register. Okay, the word register here I will explain later on, and also you need to know the correct text type. Let's say the question asking you to write about article, so your writing should looks like article. Okay, and then you have to use the correct register. And then we also want to see how clear your ideas are being presented in the writing. Okay, you have to be very clear on what are you going to say, or what are your points in the writing. Okay, and then how deep it is being explained to satisfy the reader. Okay, you need to explain to make sure that whoever reading your piece of writing, they felt very satisfied. For example, can you describe an apple to me? Apple, yeah, like apple, apple tastes like apple. Are you satisfied with the answer? I believe no. But when you say an apple taste, it has sour taste, and then sometimes it combined with sweet taste. It creates some chemical reaction in your mind. So when we get some this kind of response, so we are more satisfied because we can imagine in our mind how the apple tastes like. Because we need to consider that whenever you are writing any piece of writing, you need to consider that the reader know nothing. Remember that the reader know nothing, meaning you have to be very descriptive. You have to explain your points clearly. Okay, just to satisfy the reader. Okay, next we have organization. So as the name goes, organization, of course, you need to organize your content, your point. Is it in paragraph? Is it should be in one paragraph only? Is it should be in 3 or 4 paragraph? That is considered as organization. And also you need to include, take note of this, you need to include cohesive devices. Okay, cohesive devices falls under organization because cohesive devices shows the flow of ideas. So it organizes your writing very well. What is cohesive devices? Cohesive devices also divided into two, informal cohesive devices and also some formal cohesive devices. I will touch that later on. Okay. Next, the last part is the language. So for language, they want to see you use correct usage of simple and complex grammar structure. Again, accurate to the task. For example, we know that the first question is the things that you need to come up, the email. Sorry, you need to come up with an email. So the language or the grammar structure might be very simple because it tested, it's going to test you the low B1. And then as it goes to the second question, the third question, you might want to show that your ability in using complex grammar structure. Okay. Again, whether it's simple, whether it's complex grammar structure, it needs to be accurate to the task. Again, it covers the first explanation that I give about content, that you need to read the question thoroughly, you need to identify the gist for you to decide later how complex your structure, your grammar structure, or how simple your grammar structure can be. And then you also need to consider low frequency words or high frequency words. What are these things? Low frequency words and high frequency words. Okay, so my suggestion is you just go hunt your teachers after this. Ask them about, teacher, what is low frequency words and high frequency words? Because I'm not going to explain, because I just want to use the terms, because I want to impress you guys lah, to show that I know something. Okay, because it's online thing that everyone is watching, so I need to make myself look good online. Okay, no lah, just kidding. So for low frequency words, it's actually words that being commonly used. Okay, so the opposite of it, high frequency words is the words that you seldom found in your reading or a piece of writing. But again, whether you are using low frequency words or high frequency words, it needs to accurately use according to the question asked. Okay, so basically, that's how the examiner will mark your essay. Every question will be marked the same. We are going to use C, CA, O, and L. Okay, so let's go to the next slide. So in writing, basically, we have informal and formal. So I'm going to try to cover, but it's going to be very brief on both writing, informal register and also formal register. Okay, so I will start with things to consider for formal writing. Okay, so the first thing that you need to consider or try to avoid, see this very big X here, meaning you cannot use these things in informal writing. The first one is do not use slang. Okay, do not use slang. So for example, my teacher kind of likes freaks out when I tell her my result. This one, the bold one, kinda likes freaks out. So that is the slang. Okay, so we need to change that to my teacher gets upset when I tell her my result. Do not use slang. Okay, sometimes we might think that slang is okay in informal writing, but normally slang we use in spoken, not in written thing. Yeah. Next is words shortened to look phonetic, or in simple words is you want to spell the words to as if how it is being pronounced. For example, wanna, I want to know. Okay, I want to know, so you just put it there, wanna. So wanna is not accepted in informal writing, but again is accepted for a informal spoken interaction with your friends. It could be accepted, but not in informal writing. So we need to change it to I want to know. The last one is text messages style. Okay, when you are writing, when you are replying WhatsApp or Telegram chat or what else, Facebook Messenger or Instagram, so you might want to reply instantly, and then you use abbreviation for the number 4 here for suggesting 4, BTW by the way, and U is in you. So we cannot use that. Okay, so that is the big technique taboo for informal writing. Do not use this thing. Okay, next one is something for you to consider for the greetings. Okay, for greetings. So when you are writing an email, the first thing you need to do is the greetings. Okay, so this is already listed a few possible receiver of your email. So if you are writing to your friend, you just simply put dear plus name. Don't write dear my best friend. It's wrong. Next one, if you are writing to your brother or sister, again, dear plus name, and then do not use dear brother Ali, dear sister Sarah, for example. And then if you are writing the question asking you to write to your mother or to your father, it is better to use dear mom or dear dad because it applies that it is more friendly to show that you are very close to your mother and father. When you use dear mother, dear father, as if you are writing a very informal email to your father or your mother asking for extra money. Okay, and then if you are writing for parents, both of your mom and dad, so use dear mom and dad. Okay, we don't use dear parents. This is for formal. And if you are writing for cousin to your cousin, dear plus name, do not use dear cousin Zati. It's wrong. Okay. And then if you are writing for your aunt, so you can use dear auntie and then plus the name at the back. So dear auntie Siti or uncle, dear uncle Khalid. Okay. And some of you might wondering, can we use hi or hi there as our greetings to replace dear? It is acceptable to use hi as a greeting or hi there. Okay. Next one. This one is for things that you might want to consider when you are writing your introduction. Okay, so this is my suggestion. Why don't we try to consider an apology as your introduction? Okay, why we use apology as our introduction? Okay, the reason being is it implies how friendly and how close the writer and the reader. Because when you apologize to someone, it shows that you are very friendly and then you are close to that person. Okay, for example, I'm sorry, I haven't written for ages, but I've been busy studying for my upcoming exam. So when you read this sentence, you instantly feel very close to that person. I'm sorry, I haven't written for ages. It's like you are apologizing. Sorry, tak lama dah tak tulis surat kat kau. Tapi aku busy. So it shows that you are friendly and then you are close to the reader. So again, you might want to consider apology for your introduction. So I've prepared few here. So we can just pair it up lah. I'm sorry I haven't written for ages. I'm sorry I haven't written for so long. I'm sorry I haven't written for a long time. Or I'm sorry I haven't written since the gathering, since your party, since we last met. So this is more like we are giving the time frame in our in our introduction. Okay, and then this is the reason you might want to pair it up. I've been busy completing my script. I've been busy painting my room. I've been busy taking care of my new pet. So we pair it up, or you might want to discuss with your teachers other possible other possible lines or sentences that you want to use, because some of you might think, oh, sir, panjang ni sir, kita ada 80 patah perkataan je, tak apa ke? Again, whatever I'm sharing tonight is not compulsory for you to use. It's just that I'm opening up some suggestion for you to consider. Okay, you might want to
Okay,
take all
excuse
these
me.
ideas. Yes.
Yeah, Cheryl, there's one question
Yeah.
from Julita
Mm-hmm.
Najiha. She's asking whether
Mm-hmm.
we can use our own made quotes, I think quotes, in writing essay.
Quotes, is it?
Yeah.
So they made themselves the code themselves. Okay.
Yeah. Mm.
Uh, okay. All right. So normally we take codes from other people, and this time around, can we use codes for the writing? If the meanings, for me personally, if the meaning still the same, I think it is acceptable. We again
Oh.
the C, CA, O, and L just now. So if you are right, you are answering the requirement in the question, meaning you are doing good because you can produce your own what call that codes. But again, you might want to check with your teacher. Is it high frequency? Is it low frequency words before you start using it?
Okay.
Okay. I hope I answered the question correctly. Okay. All right. Now where are we? Okay. Okay. Yeah. You can discuss with your teachers again. Because I just now, like I said, the word limit for part one is only 80 words. So if you take all this, it might backfire you in the you cannot write too long for your content. But again, what I'm giving here is suggestion. You might want to discuss with your teacher whether how you can cram it, make it shorter. Maybe you want to change a few phrases, or your teacher have better idea to make it sound friendly yet very packed. Okay, so again, just take this as a suggestion. I'm not saying that whatever I'm sharing here is compulsory. Okay, next. However, if you want to use apology plus time frame, like what I showed just now, avoid using apology and time frame if the question is asking for advice. So let's say your friend is writing to you asking for advice, that when someone asking for an advice, that person might want an instant reply because that person is in predicament, in difficulty. So when you say I'm sorry, I haven't written for ages, so it shows that you are not really care the email masuk in your inbox and you just ignore it. Okay, so it shows distance. Okay, but still you can use apology by changing it to I'm sorry to hear about what had happened. Okay, because it shows empathy. It shows that you are very sorry, feel sorry what happened to that person, to your friend lah. Okay, so remember that if the question is asking for advice, you avoid using apology plus time frame. Again, you need to really understand the question. Yeah. All right. So another suggestion for introduction is you might want to consider using something warm as an introduction. What I mean by warm is something like this. It was great to get your email last week. It was nice to hear from you yesterday. Okay. When we read these two sentences, it makes you feel, oh, baiknya budak ni, things like that. Okay. Or you want to say congratulations on your winning, congratulations on passing your test, chosen as a school debater. You can start with this because it's very warm. Okay, to start your email with something like this, and then again, it shows that you follow the update of your friend. Okay, I hope you are feeling better over the news. I hope you've got over the flu. I hope you've done painting your room. Okay, so all this actually it shows that to show how close you are with the person you are writing your email to. Okay, you might want to take this as a consideration as well. Suggestion, yeah. Next one is after you have the introduction, the greetings, and then you have the very friendly introduction. You might want to use transition before you start give your content, or you start sharing your points in your essay. So my suggestion, what I want to share with you tonight is let's consider anyway and anyhow as the transition. But there's one big but here. Not big but, yeah. Okay, right. Okay. But these two words are very powerful. Does anything referred in the previous sentence does not matter important. Okay, I repeat. These two words, anyway, anyhow. Macam kita biasa dengar macam biasa anyway orang selalu dengar, orang selalu guna kan anyway. But if we use it wrongly, these two words actually very powerful because it shows that whatever referred before that is doesn't matter and not important at all. Okay, for example, I'm sorry that you have lost your cat. Anyway, I'm excited for my tennis match next week. You can see the first line, the opening line is as if you are very sorry for your friends that he or she just lost the cat. But the second part of your sentence, anyway, I'm excited for my tennis match next week. So what do you think? Is it a good transition here? You can see. Can you get I'm trying to say? The first part is you are expressing your empathy, but the second part as if tak apalah kucing pada mati. So what is important is I want to go for my tennis match next week. Okay, that's what I meant. So be careful in using anyway and also anyhow. Okay, so the better version, if you want to consider using anyway, is I'm sorry for not writing for edges. Anyway, I thought I'd drop you a line about. So you refer to the gist of the question, and of course, it's an essay test. So you need to come up with your own sentences. Okay. So I thought okay, ataupun in the longer one it will be I thought I would. It implies I hope you don't mind. Okay, so again, anyway, I thought I'd drop in about something referring to the question. So even though you are not writing for ages, but because you used, I thought I'd drop you a line, so it's more polite. Because when you want to be polite in English, past tense is actually your way to go. Using past tense, it shows that you are very polite. For example, I was thinking about something. I was thinking about going for a job tomorrow. Would you like to join me? So it shows that you are very polite when we use past tense. Okay. So this is example for anyhow. I'm sorry for not writing for ages. Anyhow, here's what I think about. Again, you have to refer to the gist of the question to answer the question correctly. Okay. Anyway, and also anyhow to give the transition from your introduction to what the main reason why you are writing to your friend. Okay. Next one. So this is actually the summary of for what call that for our informal.
Sorry. Okay, Syarul, sorry.
Yes, Kak Mali.
Another
Yeah.
question.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, another
Yeah.
question by Zalex. Okay, he's asking about how do we ensure that we don't write beyond the word limit? So it's about the word limit.
Okay, about the word
How
limit.
to
Okay.
ensure? Yeah.
How to ensure? All right. Again, okay. Even though it says that 80 words, maybe you can give yourself extra 10 words. Maximum is 90 words for informal. But again, the question asking how to make sure that you will not write beyond. Of course, you need to count your words lah. No other way lah. Okay, if you want to or maybe you can use the magic box that like we used to teach your seniors
Summary.
in
Hmm.
in summary. So
Yeah.
you draw lines, you draw the box, and then you write each box one word only, and then by some lines then you know that you are reaching the limit. So that you could ask your teacher, they know about this, go hunt your
Okay.
teacher after this. Okay, all right, so let's continue.
Okay.
All right. Okay, so this is basically the the summary lah. Another things that you need to consider in your when you are writing informal. So please use contraction. They are, we contract to they are, and then I will we contract it to I'll. Okay, so use contraction. Some said that it's okay to use full the full spelling, but again, in informal writing, it shows you are being being very close to your whoever is sending your email by using contraction. Okay, and then you also please pay attention to your pantau. For example, the comma, the semicolon, the exclamation mark. So in informal writing, exclamation mark means it used to show that you are very excited, to show excitement. Okay. And then this one what I promised you about informal cohesive devices. So normally you use furthermore, but if possible, when you are writing informal email, you might want to use what's more instead of furthermore, because furthermore is very formal. So use what's more, and also is also considered as formal. So you might want to replace also to or as well. Okay. So informal cohesive devices. So you can ask your teachers come up with list of informal cohesive devices and formal cohesive devices. Okay. Because I'm very the time given to me is very limited, so I cannot share much lah. But I believe your teachers are very good. They can help you with this. Okay, student, don't worry. All right. Okay. So this is the time where I want to check whether you can follow my suggestion or not. So this is the question. Hi, I need a favor. What gadget should I prepare for online classes? Where could I get the gadgets from, and how about the price? I'll be waiting for your reply. Bye. So you receive from your friend, and then I just want you to try to come up with greeting, introduction, and transition sentence only, not writing the whole essay. Can moderator, how long should we give to if they want to try it?
I guess not more than 3 minutes.
3 minutes. Yeah, 3 minutes. If
Yeah,
they could write, type something.
yeah,
Type something in the chat box. Let's say,
because it's
let's
already
give
nine
them some
thirty.
times. That's why time flies. Oh my god!
Yeah,
And I got
nine
few
thirty.
more.
Yeah.
Okay, it's okay. I think I better move on.
Mhm.
Okay. If you are writing now, it's okay. Try to compare with the suggestion. Okay. So I use dear Sharul. I'm sorry, I haven't written for ages. Anyway, here's what I think about the gadgets. So this, I use my greeting. I use the apology as my introduction, and I use transition by using anyway. And this is the gist of the question, the gadgets. Okay, so this what I could suggest to you for informal or when you are answering email part one. Okay, so maybe you want to compare with your response later lah, not now because I'm chasing the time. Ada
Yeah,
yang
another question,
respond ke?
Syarul.
Hmm.
Yeah, another question, Syarul. Again by Julita. She's asking, is it
Mm-hmm.
necessary to use powerful vocabs in email? I'm not sure what kind of powerful vocab is that lah.
Okay, all right.
Is it
Okay, I
necessary?
believe that powerful vocab that she meant is the high frequency, low frequency words. Something that kalau orang biasa dulu cikgu biasa sebut bombastic words during my time. Use bombastic word in your essay, then your examiner will be impressed. Okay, again, for email, try to avoid using that because it's considered formal. Try to go what we call that, try to go low ataupun high frequency words only. If you want to use it, I suggest you might want to use in part 2 or part 3. Okay, all right. This is what maybe this will give a better idea to Julita just now. Sorry if I got the wrong name. Okay, for example, it wasn't successful. Okay, how can we change it to more informal? So you might want to use it didn't work. Successful considered as formal, but when you use it didn't work, it automatically transform into informal phrase. Okay, another example. I advise you. it sounds formal. How can we change it to informal? How about or what about? So it's more friendly kan dia punya tone tu, and then the vibe you are getting from when I advise you macam it's very it's a must thing to do. But what about if you consider jogging to lose some weight instead of I advise you to jog? It's very very harsh kan, macam kena paksa je jogging tu. Tapi bila when you use what about jogging, you might want to consider that to lose some weight. So the that's what we call the informal and formal register. Okay, in my opinion, macam biasa je, it sounds very normal lah sir. In my opinion selalu je guna, but you might want to change that to I think, because it's more informal. Okay, so I hope this will give you better idea, and I answer the question given by Julita just now. Okay, so I'm done with what we call that, informal. So let's move to formal writing. Okay, so for formal writing, and anything, moderator?
No, actually, it's been told that we can extend about another 10 minutes. So lambat sikit tak apa habis.
Oh, okay, alright. InsyaAllah,
Okay, so
InsyaAllah habis.
yeah, don't rush.
Itulah, okay, alright. Tak banyak dah pun actually, we are focusing on the formal writing. Okay, so informal writing, it's not a good idea to use contraction. But in informal writing, you should use contraction. Okay, so don't contract in formal writing. And again, same in informal, do not use slang words or phrases. Lagi dah tak boleh for writing, because you are writing to someone, to your superior, maybe to a stranger, maybe when you are applying for a job. So when you use slang, it's a big no-no. Okay, and try to avoid using exclamation mark in formal writing, because it shows you are very angry. Okay, so nampak tak dia punya exclamation mark, the same punctuation exclamation mark, but when you use in formal, it becomes to show that you are angry, to show anger. But when you use it in informal writing, it shows you are very excited. So that's what you need to consider, what we call that, the informal register and also formal register. Very important. Nampak macam biasa, nampak macam alah, tulis email je kot, very simple, 80 words, I can do that in about 10 minutes. Again, you need to consider all this. So that's why I tak nak pergi into the question, because I want to, if possible, my aim is to get you to get ready, ataupun you want to have your bekalan dulu lah before you really tackle the question. Okay. So again, another suggestion, something for introduction. Okay, this is very appropriate to use for let's say the third part. Question number 2, asking for the question asks you to write an article. So you might want to use time fixer phrases. Okay, time fixer phrases is nowadays, these days, until now, every day, every week, every year, recently, for many years. So all this you can read. Okay, my suggestion is you can use time fixer phrases to show contrast and create interest. Okay, this is a very good introduction for your introduction technique, or things you want to use for your apa tu, Allahu Akbar, article introduction. Okay, I give you an example. These days, teenagers are very vocal in expressing their thoughts. The situation was very different 10 years ago. Okay, so I use 2 time fixer, these days, and also 10 years ago. So I use that to show contrast. Now they are very vocal. The situation was very different, to show to create interest. Oh, apa yang orang ni nak cakap? What the writer want to say later in in the article. When we read this, even the opening line, I feel very instantly engaged to the article. So that's, maybe you want to consider using 2 time fixer phrases, okay, in your introduction for is Allahu Akbar article. Alright. Next, if you want to introduce points, you might want to use this. I believe you are very familiar with all this. In the first place, firstly, the main point, the most important point, the first point. Very common for the teachers to remind you to use all this. And then if you want to introduce the second point, use secondly, another point, another reason, the third one, thirdly, in addition, finally, lastly, the last point, reason to sum up in conclusion. All this very common to you. Again, if you remember, in the earlier part when I explained about what call that, cohesive devices. So all these actually fall under cohesive devices. But again, you might want to be clear of informal cohesive devices and formal cohesive devices. You might want to have some discussion with your teachers later on. Okay. To join the points, you can use, if you want to join similar points, use furthermore. Is moreover, besides. If you want to show contrast, use however, nevertheless, on the other hand, although. Again, this is what we call that, also falls under cohesive devices. Okay, but this one more formal. Next, I have some list for when you want to support your points. So you can use these phrases. You can choose whichever suit your intended sentence that you want to produce. Okay, so we have this means that, as a result, this may lead to, this may result in, consequently, therefore, because. Question: can we use this in informal? It sounds very weird. Okay, because you don't talk means that with your friends. Okay, so that's what I mean by,
Yeah.
if you want to know the difference between formal register and informal register.
Yeah, another question,
Okay,
Syarul.
anything, moderator?
Another question. Can
Uh-huh.
you hear me? Okay. Another question by Fazrin.
Yeah.
Is it okay? Is it okay to use the exclamation mark to show our excitement in the informal email? To show excitement.
Okay, yes.
Is it okay?
Yeah. So I mentioned
Mm.
earlier part, maybe he just joined. So it's okay to use
Mm.
exclamation mark to show excitement in informal, not informal, because
Informal.
informal it.
Yes.
Uh, but for formal writing, it shows that you are angry with someone you are writing to. So be careful, eh. Exclamation mark. Nampak senang je, macam one stroke and dot, but it implies
Hmm.
differently. Right. Okay. Thank you. I shall
Okay.
move to.
Sorry. Shahrul, another
Yeah.
question. Another.
Hmm.
One more by Farid. What happens if we don't use sequencing? Will that affect our mark?
Okay, good question. If
Mm.
you don't
Mm.
use sequencings, again, the in the my previous explanation, I told about the organization. So
Mm.
it might affect us. It might affect some marks in organization. So it might not
Yeah.
affecting your language. It might not affecting your communicative achievement. It might not affect your organization. Organization, yeah, will be affected. Satu lagi apa? Content. So it might
Mm.
affect
The content.
the mark in organization, because he asked about sequencing tadi kan. So be careful lah. Ada
Sequencing,
one two is
yes.
okay.
Mm.
Okay, in the organization, your mark will be affected. Okay, so let's move on. So
Okay.
uh,
Yeah,
another
Shahrul,
question. Oh,
ada
okay.
one. No, it's not a question, but
Ah,
okay. Faiz said, "Speak Malay, please." There are words that I can understand. I'm not sure
oh,
which
okay.
was.
Oh, which word? Ya,
Just
alamak.
uh,
Okay, tak apa. Alright,
okay,
alright.
okay.
I can manage that. I pun dah penat cakap orang putih sebenarnya. Alright. So move on to review, because this is the new question. If we want to compare the old format and the new format, previously we don't really focus on review. Macam mana nak buat review? Soalan nak jawab soalan review ni apa benda, tak pernah buat, so susah. I tried to do the review question with my kids kat sekolah, memang terbukti it's very difficult lah. Okay, it's very difficult sebab tak pernah buat, jarang. I pun tak pernah ajar, I jarang ajar, so the effect on the student. So now I want to share what should we consider kalau kita nak tulis review. Okay, the first one is there are 4 elements in review writing. The first one, if we want to inform, kita nak bagi tahu, because we review, kita bagi pandangan. So kita nak inform, kita nak describe, kita nak analyse, and also we want to advise. Okay, so what the smaller sub headings lah kat sini. So to inform, maybe you want to inform the film title. Kalau let's say soalan kedua, write a review about a movie, for example a film. So you want to inform the reader the title. You might also want to inform the actors who involved or who played roles in the film or in the movie. You also might want to inform when the question asks about to write about restaurant review. So you nak kena ceritakan, you have to inform the restaurant name. And then you also might want to inform the book title. Okay, that is the function of inform. We tell the reader the very important things lah. Tapi again, bukanlah when you are writing review tu, you have to use semua benda yang I come up here ya. No, it depends on the question. If kalau book review, then you have to use the book title, maybe the author, maybe the publisher, things like that. Okay, and then for describe, when you are writing review, you want to describe to satisfy your reader. So when you describe, you might want to describe the taste. Like example yang I bagi pasal apple tadi tu. So you nak describe, setakat you describe biasa-biasa apple warna merah, so everybody knows. They want to know deeper. They want to know deeper how what the taste combination maybe dalam apple tu, so nak menarik whether they want to try the product or tak nak try the product. Okay, and so you might want to, kalau cerita or book review, you might want to describe the climax. You might want to describe the highlight of the film, of the movie, of the buku. Okay, so we need to describe this thing, benda yang orang nak tahu pasal pasal barang yang kita nak review tu. Okay, and then in analyze.
Okay, sorry Syarul. Syarul, the book can be in any language, right? As long can be translated to English.
Okay, very good question. Thank you, Teacher Malina. This is commonly asked. Can we review Malay book? Let's say you baca novel lah, Cintaku Separuh Mati, for example. Okay, title buku tu Cintaku Separuh Mati, and then you want to review that book because you know from skin to skin, okay, from the cover to cover about the book. So it is acceptable. You can review the book Cintaku Separuh Mati tadi tu, but you need to use English. Okay, you don't have to translate the title because it is originally in Malay macam tu. So tak payahlah, sama juga macam cerita. If you want to review movie, you tengok cerita Melayu apa yang paling latest I don't know lah. Apa-apalah movie in Malay, and you want to, or in Korean ke apa-apa, in any languages, you want to review that, it's okay. Okay, it's okay, but you need to bear in mind the review should be done in English. Okay, so I continue with analyze. So in analyze, you might want to give your opinion and also example. Okay, so opinion here means you analyze, bagi opinion you pasal cerita tu, pasal movie tu, pasal restaurant tu. Orang nak tahu your opinion, sedap ke tak, cerita tu best tak, pelakon tu okay tak, kayu tak dia pelakon, things like that. Example, relate lah kepada tu. Let's say cakap the food tastes very good. Orang nak tahu what food that you tested in that restaurant. So give lah example, chicken chop ke lamb chop ke yang you ordered and you think that is very good to review. Okay, so kita kena relate lah the opinion and also the example. Dia memang kena link kat sini dua-dua ni. And then in advice, whether you want to recommend or you want to give conclusion. And again, bila you tulis review, tak semestinya it's not necessary for you to recommend all the way. Kalau you nak tulis review je kena recommend, tak. it also accepted kalau you tak nak recommend that because it's okay. Okay, so you might want to use I would like to recommend. I would not like to recommend. I would not recommend this restaurant to you because kena bagilah sikit apa-apalah things yang bersesuaian. Okay, so that's 4 elements yang you might want to consider if you want to you want to write review, whether it's book review ke, movie review ke, restaurant review ke, is the same. You can use these 4 elements. Okay, right. Whew, ngam-ngam soy. Alright. So the last part is actually when you are writing review, you need to know the suitable vocab to use when you are reviewing about different thing. Okay, so in the tables here, so I've mixed up the terms that should belong to book review ke, restaurant review ke, movie review. So ada banyak. So maybe you want to do that. You might want to list out the suitable word into the suitable group. Jadi 3. I dah bagi in my material. I gave you this as the exact one. Tapi ada salah mistake dekat spelling illustration tu. I'm sorry for that. But under the box there are three circles that I already labeled with book review, restaurant review, and also movie review. So you might want to choose and then tabulate balik kat bawah ataupun list out yang mana perkataan yang berkaitan dengan review yang you nak buat. Okay, kalau you salah guna word choice, review you takkan jadi sedap. Okay, dia akan jadi macam pelik sangat. Okay, why we need to know words accurate for different review? Again, remember the first part when I told you about how we are going to mark your essay, ada language kan. So under language, you need to use the correct uses of simple and complex grammar structure. Satu, I beritahu tadi, which is accurate to the task. And also you must consider low frequency words and also high frequency words. So dekat sini, when the part 3, sebab soalan for new format dia macam ni. Dia punya graph. Senang sikit, macam susah sikit, and then a bit susah. So what we want to, even though the marks is the same, tapi the language tu is going up. So daripada yang high frequency word, you menjawab soalan nombor 2, you might want to mix high frequency dengan low frequency. And then bila you pergi kepada soalan nombor 3, you might want to use high frequency, a lot of high frequency word. Tapi again, remember, it must be accurate with the question. Okay.
Okay, Syarul, another question by Muhammad Faris.
Yes.
Okay, if we review a non-English books or movie, can we quote the phrase of the movie without using English? Mesti nak quote in Malay lah. I don't think so, right?
I don't think so because even though it's a quote, biasa kita quote memang kita akan ambil originally from that one. Tapi if you want to quote, okay, let's say lah, the best quote for that movie ataupun the book is something in BM, you can write that, but again you have to translate the quote into English so that it give meaning, kan? Kalau tak, otherwise it doesn't fit there. Tak ada apa-apa function for you bagi quotes tu. Orang tak faham. Macam saya cakap tadi lah, whatever you are writing, you need to consider in your mind the reader know nothing. Okay. Ada soalan lagi?
Yeah, from Haikal. Okay, can we include our opinion if it is not an orthodox view, like political view? I'm not
for
sure.
review ke?
I'm not sure. I think.
Okay. Wherever you are going to write, please avoid this political view. Please avoid religions, race, sensitive. Because it's very sensitive. Okay, please avoid sensitive issues in your writing. Tulis yang biasa saja. Write according to the question. Don't go too beyond. Okay, it might affect you back lah. Nanti dia akan because we have the C, remember, C, C, A, O, and L. C is for content. So if that whatever you are writing considered as irrelevant, so you
Hmm.
punya marker akan terus drop. Remember that. Okay, any
Okay,
question?
Syarul. Okay, it's not a question. Yeah, a question.
Uh-huh.
When you describe the book by yeah, Teacher Rosita, can you highlight the author's hope or wish?
Hmm. Author's
Is it
hope and
possible?
wish. But again, when we okay, let me go back. Okay, so this all here,
Hmm.
when you are informing whatever the authors are intended in the book, it doesn't really you are not giving your personal opinion about that, because when you are
Hmm.
review, you want to say from your point of view, not from others point of view. So I think it's not very necessary for us to write whatever the writer or the author intention lah kot. Mm-mm.
Yeah, agreed. Okay,
Mm-mm.
actually, we have to like prizes, dua hadiah actually,
Oh,
for students, yeah, for students who can maybe answer, do the task that you give before, yang soalan yang Syarul bagi, that you ask them to
in
do.
the
So
mm-mm.
if any student can complete the task, so yeah, will get the
I
prize,
tutup dulu boleh
two
tak?
prizes.
I tutup.
Boleh boleh. Okay.
Okay, so basically, that's what I intended tonight. I want to share with you guys about things to consider. I tak pergi masuk betul-betul into the question to dissect the question, to give you how to write. This is only on the surface. What's important things that you need to consider before you actually tackling the question. Macam yang formal and informal register tu. You need to be very precise on when to use informal register, when to use formal register, high frequency, low frequency, punctuation, cohesive devices, all that. Because now we are marking according to C, content, communicative achievement, language, and also organization. So all that relate, nampak macam dia hamper everything, tapi dia pecahkan ikut elemen tu. So you need to know apa benda dalam setiap elemen C, CAO dengan L. Okay, so thank you everyone. I'm very satisfied I could share this. Again, I want to say thank you to everybody. The question asked pun macam very wonderful ya, moderator kan. Macam
Yeah, very good.
they are very
Yeah.
engaged, they very engaged in the discussion.
Mm.
So thank you with the whoever shared lah, you know who you are, so thank you very much. So now I'm able to share with others. So insyaallah lah lepas-lepas ni kalau ada lagi this session, might not with me, because Pekan has a lot of potential teachers. They might come up with more, what we call that, more innovative teaching methods or ways to answer the question. InsyaAllah nanti Miss N might propose some of them. I just open the way, the
Mm.
path to you guys. Okay, so thank you very much again to PPD Pekan for this very good initiative.
Okay, thank you very much, Sharul, for the great sharing. But do you like to do the task with the students, or because yeah, yeah, we are going to select the fastest students who can answer your task.
Oh, okay. So where should I? Okay.
If yeah,
So I need to go to the comment. Is it?
no, actually, I think you just
Okay.
play back the task, yang soalan apa, the task that you ask them to do. I think in email, right?
Yeah. Wait.
Ah,
This one.
okay. So I think we give time about 2-3 minutes for any students who would like to do this task, and yeah, the
Hmm.
fastest one will get the prize.
Okay.
Two
Oh,
students.
we have prizes. Interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Do
just
do we
now.
have do we do we have prizes as well for the speaker and also the moderator?
Okay, so we give time about 2-3 minutes, and then
Okay.
you may
Okay. Just now I scrolled down the comments. I saw, is it better
uh-huh.
to use advanced English or normal English? Okay. Again, that one I nampak tadi siapa, I cannot remember who asked that question. Uh, the question here is when to use it. What is the purpose? If you want to use advanced English, just in informal is not really fit in the question, because you have to know the audience as well. If you are writing to your
Mm,
mother, is it very normal for us
mm.
to talk formally with our mother? Kan tak macam
Yeah,
macam
okay.
macam ada gap. You will create gap between you and your mother when you are using very formal. When we like very typical example I give for my students, when you are talking to your friends and when you are talking to your principal. Takkan you nak ajak pergi makan,
Mm.
jom pergi makan. Takkan you nak cakap the same thing,
Ah,
jom pergi makan with your principal. So we need to know the audience as well, and also the purpose of it. So that's why the latest format, if we dissect it carefully, the C, CA, O dengan L tu, we need to understand that first. If we could understand that, insyaAllah, the budak-budak kita akan dapat faham, oh untuk ini aku perlu guna English yang biasa-biasa saja, tak payah
mm.
yang tinggi-tinggi sangat. Okay, I hope
Yeah,
I answer the question tu.
yeah, but
Dah clear?
another
Hmm.
question by Wida.
Mm-hmm.
Is it better to use advanced English than standard English?
That one, I think that the same
Right.
question.
Yeah, the same.
Uh,
Yeah.
the same question. Again, you need to read the question carefully.
Mm.
Who is your audience? What is the purpose?
Mm.
Tu benda penting yang kita kena decide first before we are deciding on whether to use a very advanced English in terms of vocab ataupun nak guna standard one.
Okay, we're still waiting for any student to give the answer for this task. Sayang ya, tak ada dapat hadiah ni. Sayang.
Ah, hmm.
Hmm.
It could be iPhone Pro Max. I think the materials with the student, right? I think I can stop
Yeah,
sharing
yeah, they have the materials already.
because it's very weird to talk without seeing the screen.
Okay. Any?
Hakim is none, is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, are we still waiting?
That's one of the responses by the student.
Okay. Okay.
The fastest one, is it?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's see. Dear Abkara, okay, Hakim uses dear and then friend, the name.
Mm.
Haven't written for a long time. Okay, again, this I think he missed this part lah kot.
Mm.
I'm and I haven't, so redundant lah.
Oh,
So it
yes.
should be I haven't saja, not I'm. Kan? I haven't written for a long time. And then he used the punctuation here. I've been busy doing my assignment. Anyhow, about the gadgets, so
Mm.
we can see the transition to talk about ataupun to focus on the question asked, what about the gadgets. So yang transition line tu very good. Anyhow, about the gadgets, you might want to consider, so the sentence should go, apa tu, should continue lah after that. Tapi I rasa okey
Yes.
ni. Cuma
Yeah.
dekat sini je.
Okay.
that part saja. Again, another comment is maybe you need to be aware as well about the word limit lah. Kan kat sini banyak lah ni. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
Yes,
6, 7,
word limit.
8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 16, 17. Nearly 20 dah makan kat situ. So you might want to again, I just bagi opinion, I just bagi my suggestion. Kalau you rasa you need to discuss with your teacher how macam mana nak guna teknik yang proposed by Cikgu Syarul tu. So the teacher might boleh come up with a better idea lah. Okay.
Yeah, Irfan. Okay, Syarul, is it
Okay,
okay?
another one.
Yeah.
Hello, it's been a while, hasn't it? I hope you are fine. Moving on, I recommend you to buy a laptop. It's been a while, isn't it? Hasn't it? I hope you are fine. Moving on, I recommend you to buy a laptop. Moving on.
Moving
Okay,
on.
so the transition, moving on. Okay. So ni advance ni, Nick Irfan.
Ya kan?
Where are you from, Nick Irfan?
Okay, congratulations for the 2 students. We will come back to you later on with the prizes. Okay, so before we end our session, okay, before we end our session, please teachers and students to scan your QR code here for the attendance. Okay, but later on we will also put it in the chat. Okay, for tomorrow, don't forget we also have another webinar for Pendidikan Islam at 9 to 10 p.m. By Encik Muhammad Zahid bin Zulkifli. So I think that's all from us. Thank you very much for your support. And please like and share our online at PPD 2.0. Thank you very much. Assalamualaikum.
Assalamualaikum. Bye everyone. Have a good night.